Welcome to the Happy, Healthy Life Podcast with your hosts, Rob and Randy, who reveal the truth, the lies, and confusion about health so that you are no longer the victim to mainstream medical dogma and you are the hero to your own happy, healthy story.
So welcome everybody to the office hours. And this right here is going to be episode number 36 of the podcast. So those of you guys who have been wondering when we're going to get started back up with the podcast, the answer to that is right now. So on today's episode, just understand that as we go through this today, you guys are going to learn and hear from somebody that's been living a happy, healthy life from day one and what that actually looks like. If you've ever wondered, how do I get my kids to make healthier choices? You guys are going to learn how to get your kids to make healthier choices as well. And as always, when it comes to living the happy, healthy life, we're always about growth, always in all ways. And sometimes that means allowing yourself to go get uncomfortable, embracing challenges. We're going to talk to her about some of these challenges that she's had growing up through her life, through her lifetime. For those of you guys who are even new to Happy Healthy, you're either new to the group or you're new to listening to the podcast. You guys may or may not have heard how Randy overcame late stage cancer, which is what got us to here and doing what it is that we do, and how I was able to overcome metabolic syndrome. If you want to learn how to do that, go back to previous episodes and also previous office hours. But today is about this young lady here. I'm going to introduce you to the smartest and most beautiful woman I know. And this girl's name is Isabella Hope Vasquez. Not only is she intelligent and beautiful, she actually happens to be my daughter and one of the three best parts of me, hands down. So we are going to get into Isabella talking to you guys about living a happy, healthy life because she's done this from day one. And when you live this lifestyle from day one, I can say this, and I know many of you are in here because starting program, you may have wanted to lose weight, right? And so this is somebody who has never, ever had a weight problem her whole entire life. Unlike her dad, who always struggled with his weight all the way up until I was 38 years old. She never had to worry about that because of the choices that she was making, or we were helping her to be able to make from day one. And so we're going to get into what that looks like. And it's one of those things where it's not like she had to do anything. Is she was already doing those things as soon as she came out. So we're going to go all the way back to the very beginning, if that's okay with you. Thanks, Sharon. Yes, she does look incredibly beautiful and healthy. And so okay, let's go back to the very beginning. So let's talk about where. And by the way, Isabella, hello. How are you today?
Good.
Hi. Awesome. And so, where were you born? Let's go all the way back to the very beginning. So where were you born?
I was born at home.
You were born at home? What? So what, like a home hospital?
At home in my mom's bed.
So, okay, so for real, born at home. Okay. And then what have you heard about and or any stories about your birth? How did things go?
It was very difficult. My mom lost a lot of blood.
Yeah, so it wasn't necessarily the ideal thing to happen, right? And the great thing is that you're healthy. She's healthy as well. And I think an important thing to understand with that for everybody is that everything that we do and that I've done for, going on like 30, 35 years has all been about the Bible verse, 1 John 4:4, which says, greater is he who is in your body than he who is in the world. In other words, saying that, God's made our bodies to be healthy. He doesn't need any help. He doesn't need any interference. And it's having faith, confidence, and belief in that. Because if you don't have faith, confidence, and belief in that, you'll put your faith, confidence, and belief into a medical model, which is all about treating symptoms, treating sickness, rather than looking at the body as a whole. And you really haven't known anything different other than that, because that's how you were born. And then even with Jacob in his birth, he was born 100% naturally, no drugs, no intervention, nothing. However, he was actually born in a hospital. And I believe that God allowed that to happen. He came a month early. And I think honestly, the midwife messed up the dates because he was 100% healthy, but it allowed me to be able to see what happens in a hospital setting and the interventions that happen and how it's not natural at all. Thank goodness I happened to know the neonatologist that was on duty that day. So I still got to be able to deliver Jacob and do it all 100% naturally. But I got to be able to see the way the whole entire system works to the degree that I had to get him out of that hospital and leave AMA. And if anybody knows what AMA means, that means against medical advice. So even though he was 100% healthy, it was crazy. The hospital had like a protocol that says that if you're born here in the hospital, even if you're healthy, you have to stay this many days. And I was like, it ain't happening. We're out. Okay. We're going home. And so that's just, and I bring that up because sometimes when we make healthy decisions, it's not always common. And because it's not common, people freak out about that. And so, thank you. And so people freak out about that. And so it's okay to make healthy choices, even though they may not be common. They should be normal, but they're not common. And that's how you grew up, right? Okay, so more questions. All right. How many of you guys wanted to answer more questions? All right, here we go. Okay. So, all right. So from the very beginning, here's something that wasn't normal. What's like the very first thing that happened right after you were born?
I got my first chiropractic adjustment.
You got a chiropractic adjustment right after you were born?
Yes.
Okay. By who?
You.
So who was your first doctor?
God, and then second you.
Okay, I'll take that. Okay, so God first, second me. And why would it be that I would want to check your spine, and why would you get a chiropractic adjustment from the very beginning?
Because the nervous system controls everything, and you want to make sure it's working correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. So checked your spine, checked your nervous system, made sure everything was working correctly, and got you your very first adjustment. And then since that day, how often do you see a chiropractor?
It used to be twice a week, but with our schedule, we had to go to once.
So once a week for how long has that been going on?
Since I was born.
Since you were born. Okay. So we do that. We make these healthy choices in order to be able to make sure that we are literally consistently doing these things and intentional about our health on literally on a daily basis, and doing these things that we know that help give us the best opportunity to be as healthy as possible. So the next question then is, all right, so you're born at home, start seeing a chiropractor. Tell me, when did you get your first vaccine?
I have never had a vaccine.
What? That's not common, right? Okay. Not even a COVID vaccine?
Nope.
Not even that. All right. So why would you not actually ever get a vaccine?
Because your body has enough immunity whenever you're born, and you don't need to keep putting toxins in your body when your body's already healthy.
Okay, so no toxins into the body when you're already healthy. That reminds me of a story, okay? So the story goes like this, is when she was, I don't know, it may have been like kindergarten or the first grade, her teacher was putting something into her coffee or her tea. What was she putting in there?
I think it was aspartame, right?
Yes. So it was like sweet and low or equal or whatever. Do you remember what it is that you said to her?
Yes.
What did you say?
I told her that she shouldn't be putting that in her drink because it wasn't healthy for her.
Yeah, I think her exact words were, why are you putting these poisonous things into your body? And so she has never been shy to say what it is that she thinks. And then she would like literally even, and our kids would do this, is you'd go out to dinner and they would start taking out like the sweet and low packets and like getting rid of them so that other people that came along wouldn't actually be damaged and get toxins as well. And I remember also my mom was taking care of watching the kids, and she had Jacob, our oldest, who's now 19, in the back seat in his car seat. And as they were passing by a McDonald's, Jacob was actually praying. And my mom asked Jacob, hey, what is it that you're praying for right now? And he said, well, I'm praying that eventually McDonald's would have good, healthy food so that I can actually go and play on the playground. So yeah, that's these kids right here. Okay, so next question here. All right. All right. So I love that. So you understand then the body, God doesn't make junk. He creates the body to be able to heal and be well, right? And so because of that, that's why you didn't ever have any toxins or medications going into your body. Speaking of medication, have you ever had any over-the-counter medications for anything?
No.
For anything?
No.
So you've never had a Tylenol?
Nope.
You've never had Benadryl?
No.
You've never had a baby aspirin?
No.
You never had any kind of aspirin?
Nope.
Nothing. Nada. Okay, got it. And so the reason I bring this up is because when this happens, and this is done even from the very beginning, and for even everybody that's going through program, it's making these consistent choices on a daily basis that allows us to be able to our immune systems to get better, our bodies to be able to get healthier, and then you end up like Isabella right here. And so, have there ever been times when you haven't been feeling well?
Yes.
Okay, and so when you're not feeling well, does that mean your body is sick or your body is healthy?
Expressing health.
Expressing health. So your body is healthy. Okay. So let's say your body, let's say you have a headache then. So that means that your body is healthy or sick?
Healthy.
Healthy. Okay. So let's say you have a stomach ache. Is your body healthy or sick?
Healthy.
Okay. Let's say you've got a pain in your arm or your ankle. Is your body healthy or sick?
Healthy.
Okay. So I'm not getting anything else out of you other than health. Okay. So the point there being is that we all have to understand that health is always the norm. It's never the abnorm, right? So health is the norm. Sickness is actually the abnorm. And so we have to, it goes back to that faith, confidence, and belief that God designed the body to heal and to be well. And all healing does happen from above down and inside out. So, all right, let's see. Next question. All right. So when did you first notice that living this happy, healthy way of life was a little bit different than others?
When I was in preschool, I would have to get like a special snack brought for me for snack time. And like if we had cupcakes for like a birthday or something, my mom would have to like make me special cupcakes that were made with like healthier ingredients.
Okay. And so that was the first time you noticed, okay, that wasn't necessarily common. And how did that make you feel?
It made me feel very different.
Okay.
Than everyone.
Different. All right. And then what about now? So when it comes to like, because a lot of even people in our group and or people that write into the podcast, they ask, well, what about socialization with my kids? So when my kids are around their peers, if they're making healthier choices or they're eating different or what they're doing isn't like everybody else, well, then they don't fit in. So for you, what is that like as far as socialization goes with your friends? So if you guys are hanging out after school, and let's say you guys go to a restaurant and you're ordering, what does that look like?
Usually I'll order water or like whatever, like drink. It's usually the drinks that are different. And then they'll order a soda or something. But if I order water first, then it usually like sets a good example on everyone else. And then everyone else wants to order water too.
I love that, because that's just an example, even for anybody that's going through program right now, or anybody that's even done our challenges, is that if they're making better, healthier choices, then it affects everybody around them. Anytime, even when I was in practice in chiropractic, I would always have parents come up to me and they'd ask me, hey, how is it that you get your kids to not eat sugar? Or how do you get your kids to make healthier choices? And my response back to them is, I have to make better choices. I have to make healthier choices, because if they see me doing something, then of course they're going to want to do that as well. So you have to set the example. So those of you guys even going through a program, I'm proud of you, because you're setting the example for everybody else around you as well. And so now Isabella gets to be able to set that same example around the people that are around her peers as well, and helps them be led into having a healthier life, or a happier, healthier life. So, all right, next question is so So for the listeners and our happy, healthy family right here, so what would you say to a parent so this is a kid, from a kid's perspective. I say kid, you're 15 years old. All right. So, but what would you say to a parent to be able to help them with their kids to help them make healthier choices?
They're not going to like it, but definitely keep pushing them to eat healthier and just maintain healthier habits, because like I didn't like it in the beginning because I was different than everyone, but like in the long term, I'm much more healthy than a lot of my friends are because I was raised to be healthier and get those habits early.
Yeah, I love the fact that you said that, it was a little different. And I think people even going through our program, because there's very specific things, as you've seen, that they need to be eating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, okay, well, I don't know if I can do that because I'm going on a vacation, or I've got a birthday party to go to, or I've got a July 4th party to go to, or I've got a wedding to go to. I'm going to be eating differently than everybody else. So what you're saying is that it may feel weird to make those different choices than everybody else. But if you continue to keep on doing that, then it becomes more of like a normal lifestyle. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I love that. All right. So next question, all right, is what does living a happy, healthy life mean to you?
Just being super intentional and taking care of yourself and treating your body so you can be happy and you can be super healthy within yourself, doing it for yourself, not anyone else.
That might be the best thing that we've ever heard on the office hours, on the podcast, on everything. And I love the way you said making healthier choices for yourself, right? Because I think one of the biggest challenges for people right now, more than ever in recorded history, because of social media, is comparing yourself to everybody else or wanting to look a certain way for everybody else. And I think if we're doing things for everybody else, then if everybody else doesn't like that, all of a sudden, just from a self-love perspective, you're already literally crushing your spirit that way. But if you can be able to do it for yourself because you truly love yourself, you're saying then the outcome is going to be a better outcome. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Wisdom right there from a 15-year-old, right? So I learn stuff from her every single day. So the points here is that everything that we teach is all about first changing your belief. And our core belief is that the power that made the body heals the body. It doesn't need any help. It just doesn't need any interference, right? And so your thoughts then determine your belief systems. And so if you're thinking that and you change these belief systems, that's going to change then your actions. And your actions are going to change your habits that you've had from the very beginning, then determine who it is that you are as a human being. And being intentional, if I'm hearing what it is that you say, is very important to having a great outcome, so that you aren't always sick or at the doctor or getting medications or getting treated from symptoms. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Awesome. Got it. Okay, so when it comes to living a happy, healthy life, this is a daily commitment. So that's why even if you're on program, we're giving you very specific, simple steps. And simple isn't always easy, because a lot of times you're changing these things. If it's the time that you're eating the foods or the foods that you're eating or the way that you're cooking and all those different things, they may be a challenge for you. It's simple because we tell you exactly what it is to do. We give you the roadmap on how to do it, but it may not be easy because you're not used to that, because you're now changing your habits. But it's by following these habits on a daily basis that'll get you ultimately to where it is that you want to go to live that happy, healthy lifestyle. So with that being said, thank you. Thank you for answering those questions, that barrage of questions. We're going to start going through our questions that we do here during the office hours every single week. And then we're going to get into the specific questions that people have who are on program. So if you liked that, say yes in the chat that you enjoyed Isabella's commentary there, answering those questions for us. And if you do have specific questions for her, you can raise your hand and ask questions about that, as ask questions for her as well. So, all right, so let's get into answering some questions here in the Q&A. All right. Let's see. He's asking, let's see. I've heard Dr. Randy mention that how you wouldn't sit down to eat a big salad for a meal. The common belief is that isn't healthy. And so you must be doing keto if you're not going to have the salad. So then what do you do for dinners and what does that look like? I'm picturing a slab of meat with no potato, rice, or veggies. Is my thinking right? It seems like so many veggies have phytic acid. Yes, correct. Is my thinking off here? No, your thinking is not off at all. Please help clarify the nutrition in veggies. And what do you tell someone they say, oh, you must be doing keto? Greg, there's a lot of different questions in there. So the first one being, so what would that look like? Well, we can answer that very clearly. So we cooked dinner tonight, or we cooked dinner together last night. What did we cook for dinner last night? And I'll post it into the group as well. That way you guys can see.
We cooked a steak, a salad. What was it called?
Oh, a caprese salad.
Yeah. And then we had a charcuterie board.
Yeah. So we had meat and mozzarella cheese and tomato, right? And some basil, some pesto inside there, Parmesan cheese in there as well. So that's what dinner looked like to answer that question. Okay. As far as is that keto? No, if somebody asks if you're doing keto, the answer to that question is no, because keto is largely just literally protein and fats. Here's why it's not keto is because keto, you're doing that and your body's not actually fat adapted. When we're doing our program, we're getting your body fat adapted. So your body is burning fat for fuel. Okay. And so if you don't get your body fat adapted and burning fat for fuel, and you go right into doing that, your body doesn't know how to burn the fat. And because your body doesn't know how to burn the fat, what ends up happening is you may lose weight because of a caloric deficit, but not because you're burning fat. So what that means is as soon as you start adding in, whether it's veggies, fruits, any kind of carbohydrate, you end up gaining all of the weight back. The reason being is because your body is not fat adapted. So that's why the steps, and we always go back to the steps in program, are so important. And there's only 4 of them. You got to follow those steps all the way through to completion in order to be able to make sure that your body has become fat adapted. Super important. Only 4 steps there. Okay, next one. Can you address the omega-6 in beef and why grass-fed beef is okay to eat? The reason being is because typical store-bought grain-fed beef has an omega-6 to omega-3 ratio of 20-1, okay? Grass-fed beef has a ratio that's only 3-1, okay? Well within the guidelines right there. So when you get the grain or the corn in there, it completely wrecks the nutritional value of the meat that you're eating. So that's why that would be. Okay. All right. Next question here is, let's see here. Right. Host program. My weight is swinging upwards above the 2-pound threshold that I'm trying to maintain. So for the last several weeks, I've been doing a steak day. Is that okay or not recommended? You know what? The answer to that question is it's just do exactly what it says in the manual. So in the manual where it talks about what to do if you've gone above those 2 pounds, do exactly that right there. All right. How much vitamin C do we need to take, if any? You know what I'd say to that? Get your vitamin C from the nutrition that you're putting into your body on a daily basis. One of the things that you hear Randy and I say all the time is we don't supplement with specific vitamins, whether it's vitamin A, D, E, K, C, D, E, F, G, all those different things. What we're doing is making sure that anything that we put in our body is whole food nutrition, which is why as we developed our supplements are whole food nutrition to be able to make sure that you've got a full spectrum in there. So one of the things that we talked about was our thermostat that just came out, or the apple cider vinegar that we just had come out as well, and our coffee product. And I've got them all sitting like right here in front of us right here. So those of you guys who've been asking how to be able to purchase these things, because we've been taking these things, is that by the end of this week, all of the product ordering website will be done. You'll be able to order everything by going to thehappyhealthylife.com. So it's www.thehappyhealthylife.com. You'll be able to order all of your products directly from there by the end of the week. So hopefully that helps you with that.
Thanks for listening to the Happy Healthy Life podcast. If you enjoy the show, make sure to follow them on Instagram at the H2 Life or on YouTube and Facebook at The Happy Healthy Guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review the show wherever you listen to podcasts.